Well, the American Cancer Society estimates that more than 4,000 women will die this year as a result of cervical cancer. Cervical cancer was one of the most common cancer deaths among women. Between 1950 and 1992, the cervical cancer death rate went down by 70%. Doctors credit the push for annual pap smears.
And now researchers are suggesting that the key to successfully treating cervical cancer could be in your own body. At the age of 35, Erica Wallace learned that she had advanced cervical cancer that had spread to her lymph nodes. Intensive chemotherapy didn't work. She was told she had about a year to live. Then she was asked to take part in a clinical trial that used specialized white blood cells, or T cells, in the body. The cells are extracted, grown in a lab, and then infused into the patient's bloodstream.
The treatment that we do, we completely rearrange the immune system.
Now, 6 out of the 9 patients in the study had no response. 1 had a partial response. Wallace was one of 2 patients who had complete remission. Nearly 2 years after treatment, Wallace shows no sign of cancer. Researchers in the study say it's possible this approach may work against other cancers caused by human papillomavirus, or HPV, including head and neck cancer. Now, getting a cancer diagnosis is absolutely frightening on so many different levels, especially if you plan to have children one day.
Yeah, and that is why some women postpone cancer treatments to harvest eggs, fertilize them, and then freeze the embryos created. It's estimated there are more than 600,000 embryos on ice in the United States. But what happens to the frozen embryos left over? Well, there's one option known as snowflake adoption. A precious baby girl, her parents' month-old miracle. They named her Hannah, which means grace and faith.
Because of the journey of faith that it took for us to get here after all these years.
Hannah was born to Renee and David Umeda on April 12th, but she'd actually been adopted 9 months earlier. Hannah is a snowflake baby, both one of a kind and frozen, born from a donated embryo that had been stored in liquid nitrogen since 2009. The Umedas married in 2003, knowing they wanted children.
Renee was able to get pregnant rather quickly, but unfortunately, soon into that pregnancy, she miscarried.
In 2012, Renee found out she was in premenopause.
It would be very unlikely that we would have biological children.
Renee works for Nightlight Christian Adoptions, the first agency to match extra embryos donated from other infertile couples with families hoping to adopt. The Umedas decided giving birth to another couple's embryo was right for them.
The idea of getting to experience pregnancy was just really neat for me. I really wanted that.
I haven't had many people actually make that choice.
Dr. Lauren Roth is a fertility specialist. She says donated embryos can be problematic because they come from infertile couples.
If the couple had a poor chance of pregnancy to start out with, so do you.
But the Umedas didn't hesitate. In fact, they competed. As in a traditional adoption, they underwent a home study and created a profile of themselves. They were matched with an out-of-state couple who froze 12 embryos back in 2009.
They choose us and we choose them.
6 embryos were thawed. 4 didn't survive. 2 were transferred to Renee. Hannah was born.
I truly believe that God had her set apart as a little embryo for our family.
The Umedas hope to have more children with the remaining 6 embryos. Hannah already has 3 older siblings. Her story won't be kept secret. Hannah's parents plan to tell her about the snowflake baby who melted their hearts. And according to the website embryoadoption.org, snowflake adoption can cost anywhere from $6,000 to $17,000. There's an agency fee, home study assessment costs, and frozen embryo transfer costs. No money goes to the embryo donors.
The technology has made the options absolutely amazing.
Who would ever thought of that?
Who'd have thunk? But maybe you've decided you don't want to have children. After all, parenting isn't for everybody. As a matter of fact, Hollywood A-list actress Cameron Diaz recently defended her decision to be child-free. She told Esquire magazine, "It's so much more work to have children, to have lives besides your own that you're responsible for. I didn't take that on." She went on to say, "A baby, that's all day, every day, for 18 years. I like protecting people, but I was never drawn to being a mother." Cameron says right now things are good for her. She's done a lot, and she doesn't care anymore.
Okay. Well, many of us are parents to furry babies, and I'm not talking about my teenagers. And boy, when it's hot outside like this, there's nothing like a little ice baby to cool things off. But could you actually be hurting your four-legged family by giving them ice? We'll check in for the opinion of a veterinarian in this chilling debate that's been heating up social media.
Well, maybe you want to cool off your furry friend by allowing them to jump into the lake or pond. One family allowed that to happen, and now they're mourning their dog's death. You're going to find out what message they're trying to spread to pet owners.
Something else that a lot of us do is feed Fido table scraps, a little pizza, maybe a bite of a pancake. You could be doing more harm than good. We're learning the worst human foods for dogs.
But first, you know Delmarva Life's all about community, and that, yes it does, includes your community.
Is there something going on in your neighborhood? You know we'd love to hear about it and see photos from the event. Send the information our way along with any pictures you'd like to share.
You can reach us at comments@delmarvalife.com or like us on Facebook to shoot us the information there. Delmarva Life, we'll be right back.